Namaskar, welcome back to Media Scan, the weekend show which tells you what were the biggest headlines during the week in politics, what made controversies, and what was being discussed across media platforms. A string of Bharat Ratnas to people who contributed their best in the progress of the nation and were still somewhere considered unrecognized or perhaps ignored. And a confident Prime Minister telling the country that this time the government was not just planning to get back in power with a majority, but would make a record number of seats when coming back after elections. So, certainly, these were the headlines. But what was being discussed and what do our analysts feel about the claims being made by the Prime Minister and some of the recent announcements, which are definite to go down a long way in shaping the politics of the country in the coming months? For that, I have an interesting panel of guests here with me this evening. Two young, dynamic political analysts who are hardcore reporters reporting on the events of the day, and a veteran journalist, a political analyst who has seen how politics has been shaped in the country for at least the past several decades. Let me introduce to you Ashok Tandon, well-known journalist, commentator, has seen it all for long decades. You have been listening to him on Doordarshan for a long time. Namaskar, Ashok Tandon. Welcome back, sir. And with me, Aditi Tandon, who has been covering the Congress, its allies, formerly the UPA, and the parties in the opposition bloc very keenly for a long, long time. Welcome, Aditi. Good to see you back.
Thank you.
And Tushar Gupta, you know him as someone who will not mince his words in expressing and analyzing whatever he sees is happening around the country. Good to have Tushar Gupta back on Media Scan this evening. Namaskar, Tushar. Welcome back.
Good to be here.
Tushar, my first question also comes to you. But before that, just a quick listen in to what the Prime Minister had to say when he was discussing about the prospects of his party in the forthcoming elections.
अब हमारी सरकार का तीसरा कार्यकाल भी बहुत दूर नहीं है। ज्यादा से ज्यादा 100-125 दिन बाकी है और अब की बार पूरा देश कह रहा है, अब की बार खड़गे जी भी कह रहे हैं।
Tushar Gupta, this is not a slogan given by some supporters anymore that the BJP, the NDA will cross 400 seats, because now it has been spoken in so many words on the floor of Parliament and it's become a matter of record. But the counter question being peddled by some people is, if the Prime Minister is so confident of coming back with a record number of seats a third time in a row, why is the BJP trying to cobble up alliances with parties and leaders who have been, to put it very mildly, spoken about the BJP in most uncharitable terms? On the one hand is the confidence displayed by the leadership on the floor of Parliament, but at the same time, there is this effort to bring in people who went away with great bitterness and have said some very harsh comments, not only on the government, but the Prime Minister himself. How do you look at it?
Look, I don't think that the BJP has a need to cobble up allies. Even without the recent addition of the allies, the BJP was quite well poised to get a majority in the Lok Sabha in the upcoming elections. But it's more to do with the smaller parties gravitating towards the bigger party, that is the BJP right now. At this point, it wouldn't be an overstatement to say that there is only one national party in India, one national party with a significant vote share. If you look at the Congress, the last 3 months, they have been on a self-destructive mode. There's no other way to put it. They tried to bring together an alliance. It was a very ambitious project. The person at the nucleus of the alliance, Nitish Kumar, they have left the India alliance altogether. So somewhere, the Congress has been unable to stitch the alliance, but worse for them, they have been in a self-destructive mode. Look at the comments of Rahul Gandhi. Today, he's dissecting the caste of the Prime Minister. Yesterday, he was talking about Jitni Abadi Utna Haq. His party is going around town asking how our tax money is to be spent. If it's Karnataka money, it should be in Karnataka. Very separatist, mindless agenda, which the people see through. So I think the people have also made up their mind. The leaders see that, the regional parties see that. So it's all about gravitating towards that one national party, which actually has something to offer for the people of India for the next 10 years also. You look at the Congress, did they come up with one agenda for the next 10 years? No. Did they come up with one policy plan for the next 10 years? No. Did they come up with one economic plan for the next 10 years? No. Did they come up with a list of infrastructure projects they might want to pursue? No. Did they come up with a face to counter the ruling government right now in the upcoming elections? Absolutely not. So I don't really think Congress is any longer a party that can win even 100 seats together. That's going to be the story of this election. Congress to cross even 50 seats in the Lok Sabha would be an exaggeration at this point. And that is somewhat the explanation one can give for parties like RLD, which just has sort of sealed its alliance with the BJP today. Even Shiromani Akali Dal in Punjab is coming back. There are rumors of the seat sharing being finalized, with BJP getting 6 seats and the Shiromani Akali Dal getting 7. So that's also a refreshing take on the alliance. Earlier, BJP used to be a second fiddle. So it's all about gravitating towards the one leader who the people adore, the one party which is a national party in the truest sense, and the party with the plan. Congress, unfortunately, no face,
Right.
no plan, no agenda, just destruction.
So, Aditi, if I can come to you, as Tushar was just telling us, you know, in life, it is known that people would always like to be on the victorious side, or the victorious camp, and more so in politics. So, is it because you know, leaders like Nitish Kumar, Jayant Chaudhary more recently, and there are negotiations being reported with many other parties in various states, Maharashtra, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, etc. Do you think it's because these leaders are seeing better prospects in going with Narendra Modi? Or is it also because the Congress, despite all the tall claims of stitching together an alliance, you know, which will give a combined fight to Narendra Modi with a common candidate all over the country, it somehow just didn't work out, and rather than getting stronger, the opposition alliance is now almost as if it's not there at all. Neither Mamata Banerjee nor Arvind Kejriwal are ready to have any truck with the Congress in terms of seats. They say they have lost their patience because of the attitude of the party. Nitish Kumar is already gone. And I do believe there are reports of unrest in Maharashtra as well. So who would you blame? Is it because the leaders are looking at better prospects, or is it because the Congress compelled them to take that step?
See, about the BJP, Smita, what I would like to say is that I think Prime Minister Narendra Modi is not looking at victory alone. He's looking at a historic victory. So when he says that the NDA will cross 400 plus and the BJP will win 370 seats, how do you reach there? I would disagree a little bit with the earlier panelist when he says that it's the regional parties gravitating unilaterally towards the BJP. How I see the BJP is also reaching out to a lot of regional parties. You see, the announcement of Bharat Ratna to late Bihar Chief Minister Karpuri Thakur was not a small announcement. It was a huge announcement that would upend the entire political landscape electoral equation in Bihar. Similarly, when you give such a late, extremely backward class icon such great honor, what happens is you force the Yadavs. Karpuri Thakur was really the political mentor of both Nitish Kumar as well as Lalu Prasad Yadav. And few days later, you know, you give a ground to Nitish Kumar to return. So I think there is a certain large-heartedness on the part of the BJP also, because BJP wants to set 3 records this time. 1, they want to cross 400 as NDA. 2, they want to cross 50% of vote share, which no party has ever crossed in national history. 3, they also want that Prime Minister should return to office and, you know, equal late Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's record of returning to PMO thrice in a row while being in office. So when you have such ambitious goals, Smita, you go all out to woo everybody. announcements of Bharat Ratna today, you send a strong signal of solidarity with the farming community by giving Bharat Ratna to legendary agricultural scientist M.S. Swaminathan, former Prime Minister Chaudhry Charan Singh, both associated with farming causes. Then you give the Bharat Ratna to late Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, who we all know did not get his due in the Congress, although he steered India at a very critical juncture in the 1990s when our balance of payments were in a mess. So you see, statesmanship is being displayed on the one hand, on the other hand, a vast rainbow coalition of castes, classes, actually a large umbrella party. I have a sense that the BJP is now becoming what the Congress was at the time of independence, an all-inclusive party.
That's a good note on which I can, throw it to Ashok Tandon ji. Mr. Tandon, sir, two things that Aditi just touched upon. I would like to get, a larger view from you, sir. First of all, the fact that all these string of Bharat Ratnas that have been announced, it would not have become incumbent upon Narendra Modi to sort of, take these decisions. If the Congress had really cared to give the rightful place to some of those people who were not part of the Congress family, and some were, by the way, if they had been recognized for their contribution in the past decades, so maybe some historical wrongs are being righted. But at the same time, do you believe that the reason these alliances are being cobbled up is because Narendra Modi is not looking at a majority? He is looking at a figure which perhaps nobody had thought about some years ago for the BJP.
See, on the eve of the 2019 election, many media persons, including some of our friends in the opposition, they used to argue why Prime Minister Modi is working so hard. Now, same questions are being asked by the same people again. When we meet journalist friends and some of the opposition, they say, why Modi is working so hard? The foregone conclusion, 2024 election is a foregone conclusion.
Why do you think he is working so hard?
Seats.
If it is a foregone conclusion,
working hard, and in fact, even including some of the people who had left him, they are bringing back to the NDA fold. He's giving Bharat Ratna to so many people, and is he worried about it? I say no. It is the same spirit in which he worked very hard in 2019 election, because this time he has not only in fact predicted a victory for his NDA, but he has in fact given a score. That 370 BJP and 400 NDA. No, for
but
that,
Mr. Tandon, if I can put a query here, allow me a question, sir.
Questions about his credibility.
Ashok ji, if I may put a question here, in 2019, there were lots of ifs and buts being said, and a lot of people said that it was a one-time sort of a black swan event of Narendra Modi coming to power, and it will not be repeated. But this time, very interestingly, sir, even his well-known detractors are saying that, yes, it doesn't look like there is much of a challenge. In that situation, why would he have to take these steps which you have just pointed out?
No. The one-time phenomena was discussed during the 2014 election. At that time, people in the opposition never predicted victory of Narendra Modi, and after his victory, they started blaming Mani Shankar Iyer, the stupid fellow. He raised the issue of Chaiwala, etc., and abusing Maut Ka Saudagar by Sonia Gandhi. So they thought that all these things have proved counterproductive, and therefore Modi has won. But by the time we came to the 2019 election eve, it was a foregone conclusion. And similarly now, I can quote a number of opposition leaders, including Omar Abdullah, and all these people have started saying, let's look toward 29. So but the kind of leader we know Modi is, he will not leave anything, unturned, any stone unturned. And if for that he works very hard, and if he is in fact expanding his base, personal popularity base, the base of the BJP, and also the base of the NDA. So unfortunately, the opposition leaders should ponder over and look into their own camp, and which is in a total disarray. In fact, unfortunately, there is not a single opposition leader who is sincerely trying to cobble together an anti-Modi platform.
Right. Ashok ji, I'll come to Tushar Gupta here. Tushar Gupta, two parallel narratives have made big headlines all over the week and even a part of the last week. That is, on the one side is the question that chief ministers of southern states are creating, a big issue of the fact that they are not being giving their rightful share of the fiscal devolution, and they have tried to present a case by preparing some data, etc., and even coming out on the streets, which is not very usual for chief ministers to be protesting on the streets of Delhi. However, while the government has come out with reasons to explain what is what, the other question is, if the BJP will face any challenge in trying to achieve the target it has set out for itself, it might well be from South India, which is so far looking to be the weakest link for them. Since these are emotional issues and not voting, as we all know, are not done so much on data as on a question of, emotional connect, you think the South challenge still stands as a serious, if I may say, hurdle in achieving what the BJP is setting out to do?
Look, the South link always exists. The South link is always instrumental for the elections to be won. But you have to understand that for the BJP, it's not about getting the seats in the South. It's getting seats everywhere. You're not just talking about South versus North. Some journalists like to do this, that, oh, there's a North-South divide. Like yesterday, one of the prominent journalists said that the BJP is not winning any seats in the South. So there is a North-South divide. But tell me one simple thing, Smita. BJP can still win 27, 30.
Allow me, fairly, how many seats, or if I may say, how much traction do you think the BJP stands to gain in South India? Because the elections are not very far away.
Oh, there is a lot of traction. You talk to the people there in Tamil Nadu, even the detractors of or the supporters of the Congress themselves are acknowledging that the Tamil Nadu vote share for the BJP would be in double digits, some even hoping to exceed 15%. In Telangana, the BJP is poised to win 4 to 6 seats as per the recent surveys. In Karnataka, it looks like a clean sweep. The desperation you're seeing from the Karnataka Congress stems from the fact that the BJP is doing pretty well in South. In Tamil Nadu and Telangana, the problem is that there might be an increase in vote share which may not reflect in the seats, but they would be very happily taking it. Tamil Nadu is a long-term project for the BJP, and even if they get to 15 to 18% vote share in these elections, cutting through the DMK vote share, that would be a super great achievement for the BJP by the way they've been doing their work in the South. But it's Telangana and Karnataka where the seats will come from. And this is my important question. We often say that South is the weakest link for the BJP. I'm still estimating at least 27 seats between Telangana and Karnataka for the BJP. Can we see 27 seats coming for the Congress in the North or the Hindi belt? No, absolutely not. They had 8 seats in Punjab. They are not coming back because the alliance has completely changed. The tallest leaders of the Congress have moved to the BJP in Punjab. In Raebareli, there are rumors Sonia Gandhi might not fight. We don't know if the INC will be able to retain its seats in West Bengal and Bihar, 3 of them. So the question again is, we say that the BJP's weakest link is South. They're doing decently all right in South. If there is any weak link in the Indian polity right now, it's the Congress being unable to win even 10 seats in the entire Hindi belt, which is around 300 seats. That is a significant number.
Okay, we'll see. It does not quite look like a very, encouraging picture for the Congress in the Hindi belt or even any of the states north of the Vindhyas. But there was one, a jarring note during the week which became a cause of lot of, political back and forth. The question about the caste identity of the Prime Minister, which was raised by Rahul Gandhi during one of the events of his yatra, exactly a day after the Prime Minister made a scathing attack on the Congress particularly for not being able to, stand with OBC leaders or the community ever. And he even gave his own example when it came to, the rise of the OBC community. Let's quickly listen into what the Prime Minister had to say on the floor of the House, and then I'll come to Aditi.
SC, ST, OBC, उनको बड़ी भागीदारी लेने में कांग्रेस और साथियों को हमेशा परेशानी रही है। बाबा साहब की राजनीति को, बाबा साहब के विचारों को खत्म करने के लिए कोई कसर उन्होंने छोड़ी नहीं है। वक्तव्य अवेलेबल है, चुनाव में क्या क्या बोला गया है वो भी अवेलेबल है। इसको भारत रत्न भी देने की तैयारी नहीं थी, वो भी भाजपा के समर्थन से और सरकार बनी, तब बाबा साहब को याद किया। इतना ही नहीं, सीताराम केसरी अति पिछड़ी जाति से कांग्रेस पार्टी के अध्यक्ष उठा करके फुटपाथ पर फेंक दिया गया। ओबीसी, वो वीडियो अवेलेबल है, वो देश ने देखा सीताराम केसरी के साथ क्या हुआ।
Aditi Tandon, this whole question of record about the Prime Minister's OBC status, it has been fact-checked with such documentary evidence that I don't want to go to those details again. But I am here on a larger question, and that is, for decades, ever since I have been observing Indian politics, the Congress has largely been the last choice of the OBC community ever, particularly in North India. Now, with the kind of stance that the party has taken, and on the other hand, the demand for a caste census which they have been pushing, even after not getting a positive response in the recent assembly elections, how do you think this will play out during the rest of the yatra and in the coming elections? A little quickly, Aditi.
Smita, I think the Congress party has been very confused about where it stands on the matter of reservations OBCs. Because if you see, starting from Pandit Nehru's time, Pandit Nehru had set up the first National Backward Classes Commission, the Kaka Kalelkar Commission. The report of the commission was never implemented. Then we all know that the BP Mandal Commission came under Morarji Desai government. After Morarji Desai left, Indira Gandhi gave 2 extensions to the Mandal Commission but never implemented the report. The report was eventually implemented during the VP Singh government, which was being supported by the BJP from outside. We also must remember that Rajiv Gandhi had opposed tooth and nail the implementation of the report. In fact, he had very famously said in the parliament at that time, attacking VP Singh, that you have taken the country to the edge of caste wars. So from that era to this era of Rahul Gandhi, where Rahul Gandhi is enumerating the number of bureaucrats who are OBCs, it remains to be seen how Congress party's double standard on OBC reservation and the whole matter will be seen by the larger public. Now, Congress is jumping from one issue to the other because their alliance is not
No, but there are
working
also, comments from the intelligentsia and the commentariat that perhaps Rahul Gandhi, even if he is not in a position to exactly chart out his course or the strategy, why do his advisors give him such, suggestions which always tend to, blow back on the Congress?
See, the weakness of the leadership is always exploited by the Darbaris. That is no secret, Smita. We've seen it through history. So is the leadership amenable to what is being dished out to them? Point is, the Congress is now suddenly raising the OBC bandwagon at a time when they have been losing out on OBC voter base. Let us not forget, Smita, that immediately after the Mandal Commission implementation, BJP got only 19% OBC vote. And, for the first time, the upper castes, who were the traditional voter bases of the BJP, their caste dominance was challenged in elections.
Ashokji, my quick question to you is, there are 2 pillars of the Prime Minister's campaign which we have been observing recently. One is restoring the cultural glory of the country, of which we saw the culmination at the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha very recently. And the other is his emphasis on Viksit Bharat, how to make India not only develop by 2047, but to ensure that the benefits of democracy reach every person, every citizen in the country. To counter these 2 pillars, what best slogan do you think the Congress has at this point of time?
Unfortunately, none. If you look at Rahul Gandhi's yatra, during entire yatra, he has been doing nothing except criticizing the Prime Minister. Unfortunate. He should have been giving his own program, even if he is to attack the policies of the government, even if he has to counter the claims of the government achievement, you should come forward with a positive program. Day in and day out, he is attacking the Prime Minister personally. And look at that. His very close friend and a strategist, Sam Patola, goes to New York, addresses a press conference on the issue of electronic voting machine in India. No, these things, people really wonder, some of the journalists also, what has happened to the Congress party, as perhaps the Prime Minister very rightly put in his Lok Sabha speech, that, they have outsourced everything. And they don't have even yesterday I heard Rahul Gandhi talking about guarantee, that this is Rahul Gandhi's guarantee. But the Prime Minister said the old Congress party, perhaps they don't have guarantee about their own leadership. So I think the kind of disarray in which the Congress party today, they need to put their act together and evolve a counter strategy of economic development and a counter strategy of India's image abroad.
Fine,
and they
fine.
should present, rather than a black paper, they should present a positive framework of the Congress policies or the Congress programs for future.
I think the point is well taken, sir. And certainly there are no easy answers to, your question about what's gone wrong with the Congress party. Perhaps they'll be able to see the writing on the wall. But I am afraid very little time remains for them to put their house in order, particularly when not only the new allies they were looking at, but even some allies of the erstwhile UPA regime are trying to desert the Congress party. But certainly the Prime Minister has laid out the track on which we expect his campaign to go on in the coming days. How this pans out in the coming weeks is something we will be keeping our eye on, and we will certainly get back to you on Media Scan very soon in one of these episodes. Thank you very much, friends. Ashok Tandon, thank you, sir, for finding the time to share your perspective with us. Also, Tushar Gupta, who joined us at a very short notice, thank you for connecting. And Aditi Tandon, always so gracious to be with us whenever we have asked her. Thank you, guests. And we will call it a wrap here on Media Scan with the promise that we will get back to you guests once again very soon. That brings us to the end of Media Scan this weekend. But do connect with us again next weekend with a more relevant topic. Till then, namaskar.